Also in the headlines, Singapore reported 66 new COVID-19 cases yesterday, bringing the total number of cases here to 1,375. Of the new cases, 65 are local and 1 is imported. 2 new clusters were also reported with 3 cases each. The first cluster is at Little Gems Preschool in Ang Mo Kio. The second is at Kranji Lodge, a foreign workers' dormitory.
Meanwhile, 6 more cases were linked to Toh Guan Dormitory, which was gazetted as an isolation area yesterday. With 14 cases, it is the third foreign workers' dormitory to receive such an order after the S11 dormitory at Punggol and Westlight in Toh Guan.
On the global front, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson was moved to the ICU after his condition worsened. He had tested positive for the virus in March. While Mr. Johnson had received oxygen treatment to help him breathe, officials have maintained that he is conscious and hasn't been put on a ventilator.
Meanwhile, the epicenter of Wuhan reported 0 new deaths for the first time since the outbreak started. After closing its borders to foreigners, mainland China reported a drop in new imported cases. There were 32 new confirmed cases involving travellers arriving from overseas yesterday, down from 39 the day before.
Malaysia and Singapore are negotiating the terms of Malaysian citizens returning to their home country. Malaysia had earlier said that its citizens would be allowed to go home if they were certified free of COVID-19. But Singapore's health ministry said that there is no requirement for foreigners exiting Singapore to be swabbed on non-clinical grounds. The Malaysian Defence Minister, meanwhile, said on Monday that until these terms are finalised, Malaysian citizens will not be allowed to return from Singapore.
In Parliament today, Minister for Trade and Industry Tham Yuen-C introduced the Parliamentary Elections COVID-19 Special Arrangements Bill today. The proposed law will allow the Elections Department to implement temporary arrangements to ensure the safety of voters, candidates and election officials if the upcoming general election takes place amid the COVID-19 situation.
Voters who are under quarantine or stay-home orders, for example, will be able to vote outside of their electoral divisions at the designated facilities they're housed in. This will ensure that they don't mingle with other voters. An aspiring candidate may also authorize a representative to file his nomination paper on his behalf if he is ill or on a quarantine or stay-home order.
Minister Chan said that the bill forms part of ELD's contingency plans for the next GE and has nothing to do with when the election will be called. He stressed that the government's immediate priorities remain tackling the pandemic.
The Straits Times senior political correspondent Tham Yuen-C joins us now to discuss this. Yuen-C, do you think the bill covers all the bases in ensuring a safe election amid the COVID-19 outbreak?
Well, we haven't seen the actual bill itself since it's not been made public yet, so it's really too soon to tell. But for now, we know that it will deal with 2 main aspects of an election under a coronavirus outbreak. One is how people who are on stay orders will vote, and 2, how aspiring or required to stay home can complete their nomination. So when Trade and Industry Minister Tham Yuen-C introduced this bill in Parliament today, he said it would allow voters on stay orders to vote outside of their electoral divisions. So for safety, they obviously don't want these voters to mingle with other voters. It looks like this means they won't have to go down to the polling station, and they may be able to vote from wherever they are serving out the stay orders. But they didn't specify how this would be done. For instance, like, will they vote online, or will election officials have to go to them? Things like that, we wouldn't know. And then the second thing the bill allows is for an aspiring candidate who is unwell or maybe on quarantine to authorize another person to file nomination papers on his or her behalf. This will be a first because under the current law, candidates have to be present to file their papers on nomination day. So back to your question, it doesn't seem all the aspects of elections that some people have been wondering about, such as, how campaigning is going to be conducted, whether there are going to be rallies, and how safe distancing is going to be enforced at the polling stations for all the other voters who might not be unwell. And then another thing we know is that the provisions in the bill are temporary arrangements, and they will only apply to the next general election, which has to be held by the department. Back to you.
Right, thanks so much, Yuen-C. It appears we're having trouble connecting with you, but that was our senior political correspondent, Tham Yuen-C. I want to hear your thoughts as well on how a safe GE can be held, so leave your comments below.
Now, news just in. Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe today declared a month-long state of emergency in Tokyo and 6 other parts of the country over a spike in COVID-19 cases. The measure falls short of the strict lockdowns seen in other parts of the world, but empowers local governors to urge people to stay inside and to call for businesses to close. Now, those are our top stories for today. For more news and videos, do log on to straitstimes.com. Once again, I'm Haryanto Diman with Olivia Quay. Join us tomorrow for more stories on The Big Story. In the meantime, keep well and stay home.
Thank you to all our frontline healthcare workers for working so tirelessly during this crisis. And we can help them by staying at home and not hanging out with people outside our immediate household.
If you need to makan or miss my mee rebus, come to local hawkers, please. But somehow home okay. Let's all do our part to stay home and stay safe.
First time in history, you get to save mankind by staying home and watching lots of TV. It's not a lot to ask.
Please stay home.
大家好，乖乖待在家里啊，不要乱跑啊，注意安全。
Stay home because you need to protect your loved ones. And if you're hungry, just order online and let us deliver to you.
You know, now that circuit breaker measures have been announced, I can't believe some Singaporeans still need to be told what to do.
Stay at home. It's simple. 3 words. That's all you need to remember. On top of that, remember to wash your hands frequently. Remember your face is sacred. You're only going to go out to buy essentials. Stay at home.
If you have the ability to stay home, please stay home. Let's do this for our healthcare workers. Let's do this for the people who can't. We got this.
Stay home, stay safe, wash your hands regularly, and maintain a 1 meter social distancing.
Let us all do our part and stay at home, okay? If you need food, you can always rely on your Food Panda, Deliveroo or GrabFood riders.
The COVID-19 virus may be airborne and survives on long time on surfaces. So, do stay at home as much as you can. If you must go out, wear a mask. This will protect you and your loved ones.
Please stay at home. I will send the food to you.
Stay home, stay safe, take care of your hygiene, spend some quality time with your loved ones.
We all just want our loved ones to be safe, and staying home will finally flatten the curve and help reduce the numbers every day.
If any country can see this through, it is Singapore. We have the resources, we have the determination, we are united. By helping one another through this, we will prevail and emerge stronger.